It was a regular Tuesday morning. I was stacking pallets at the warehouse, sweating through my shirt, when my phone buzzed in my back pocket. I checked it quick, thinking maybe my fiancé was asking if I wanted tacos again for dinner. Instead, I saw, "I'm flying to San Diego to meet someone. He's my soulmate. I'll be back in a few days. Don't wait up." I just stood there. My hands were still wrapped around the edge of a box of cleaning supplies, but I didn't move. My phone felt like it weighed 100 pounds. She sent that like it was a casual text, like she was letting me know she was stopping by Target. We'd been together 4 years. She'd lived in my house the last 2. Never paid rent, never helped with utilities, but I didn't complain. I thought we were building towards something real. I opened my bank app. There it was, a pending charge for $370 on the debit card I'd given her for emergencies. It said Delta Airlines. Emergency. Huh? I didn't respond. I didn't even breathe for a second. I just walked to the break room, shut the door, and sat down on the cracked vinyl chair with my phone in my lap. Then I moved. Fast. First, I canceled the debit card. Then I logged into the phone plan, yanked her line off, changed the passwords to Netflix, Hulu, my Amazon, even the damn Spotify account. All of it. Locked down. No drama. No confrontation. Just cut the cord cold. About 10 minutes later, Mike, a guy I've worked next to for 3 years, walked in and saw me staring at my screen. "You good, man?" I didn't even look up. She flew to San Diego to meet some dude she met online. "What? Your girl?" "Yup." He blinked like he didn't hear me right. "Bro, what?" I showed him the message. He sat down next to me, real slow. "Man, what the hell is wrong with people?" I didn't say anything. I didn't have words for it yet. She was still in the air somewhere, probably feeling powerful, like she was chasing love or some garbage. But she'd used my money, my house, my loyalty, just to bail. Screw that. I stood up, tossed my gloves in the bin, and walked back to the floor. I didn't feel angry yet, not even sad. I just felt done. Done being her safety net. About 4 hours later, my phone rang with a number I didn't recognize. I almost ignored it. Something in me said don't. I answered. All I heard at first was background noise. Airport chatter, some announcement about a flight delay, and then her voice. "Why the hell did you cancel my card?" She snapped, panicked, like I had just wrecked her day. "You're at the airport?" I asked, already knowing the answer. "Yes, and my Uber won't go through. The card's declined. I'm stuck here with nothing, thanks to you." I could practically see her pacing around some terminal, pulling at her hair, people walking by pretending not to notice the crazy woman yelling at a payphone. "You flew across the country to meet your soulmate," I said. "Call him." She went quiet. Then, "He can't help. He's between jobs right now." I let that hang. "Wow," I said. "Sounds like a keeper." "That's not the point. You're being abusive. You're sabotaging my future." I laughed, out loud. Couldn't help it. "You took money from my emergency card, used my address, my phone plan, my everything to run off to some dude from the internet, and I'm abusive? I didn't expect you to leave me stranded like this," she shouted. "I thought you'd at least care if I was safe." I kept my tone level. "I do care. That's why I'm finally setting boundaries. Something I should have done a long time ago. You're being cruel. You're 31 years old. You bought a one-way flight to meet some loser with no job. You don't get to call me cruel just because you ran out of people to use." She started crying. For real this time, not that fake sniffle she used when she wanted something. This was the panic kind. The kind where reality finally catches up. "Can I just come home?" she said. "Please. I made a mistake." I let that sit a second. "You mean my home?" She didn't answer. "The home you don't pay for? Don't have your name on? Haven't chipped in on even once in 2 years? I cooked. I cleaned. I cut her off. "You lived. For free. Like a teenager with Wi-Fi and DoorDash." She got mean after that. "You're a manipulative piece of trash. You waited until I was gone to pull this. How do you sleep at night?" I stepped outside the warehouse. Needed air. I sleep just fine now that I don't have to fund your fairy tale. You're abandoning me, she said, her voice shaking. Do you get how messed up that is? No, I said. You left. I just made it official. She went quiet. I could hear her breathing short, shaky, like she was trying to think of something that'd guilt me hard enough to backpedal. But there was nothing left to say. You can't leave me like this, she said finally. Sure I can. This is emotional abuse. You're doing this to punish me. No, I said. I'm doing this so you learn. You don't get to burn down someone's life and expect a ride back. She sniffled again. I have nowhere to go. Figure it out. You made the choice. Live with it. You don't mean that, she whispered. I meant every word when I canceled the card. Click. I hung up. I stood there in the lot, sun beating down on the concrete, phone still in my hand. I didn't feel proud, didn't feel satisfied, just clean, like the mess had finally been pushed off my side of the line. About 6 hours later, just after dark, the ring cam lit up. I was on the couch, still in my work boots, watching some dumb action movie I wasn't even paying attention to. The motion alert popped. I grabbed my phone and there they were. Madison and her older brother, Jake, standing on my front porch like they were about to serve papers. She started pounding the door. Open up, she yelled, already halfway to hysterical. Jake stood behind her, arms crossed, glaring at the camera like I was the one who cheated and disappeared across the country. I didn't move, just watched. Then Jake stepped forward and looked right at the lens. Real mature man. Leaving my sister stranded in another state? You serious right now? I stood up, walked to the door, and cracked it with the chain still on. Madison lunged toward the gap. You changed the locks. Are you freaking kidding me? I kept my voice low and calm. My landlord came by this afternoon. Real easy fix. Jake stepped closer. Dude, what is wrong with you? She doesn't live here anymore, I said. She made that pretty clear. Madison shoved past him and pointed. Where's my stuff? You seriously locked me out with nothing. I nodded toward the hallway. Boxed up. Everything that was yours, or at least what you came here with. It's all right there. She pushed against the door. The chain held. You went through my things? I packed your things. That's different. She backed up a step, arms flailing, trying to figure out what to yell first. You went through my life, she screamed. All my memories, all my personal stuff. What? You just tossed it in boxes like garbage? I opened the door a bit wider so she could see for herself. 6 cardboard boxes stacked neatly near the entrance. Labeled. Sealed. You want it or not? I asked. She looked stunned for a second, then started crying again. Jake stepped in. Man, you're being real heartless. She made a mistake. You don't just toss someone out like that. I looked right at him. You ever pay a bill here, Jake? What? Did she ever pay rent? Help with utilities? Groceries? Anything? He didn't answer. I kept going. She lived here 2 years rent-free. My name's on the deed. I pay the taxes, the insurance, the maintenance. She was a guest, not a tenant. Jake looked at her like he was just now processing that. She didn't say anything. Then she spotted the corner shelf by the TV. Some little decorations I bought her for Valentine's Day last year. She pointed. You're seriously keeping my stuff? Those were gifts. No, I said flatly. Those were my gifts to you, bought with my money. You don't get to abandon someone and still take the perks. You can't do this, she shouted, her voice cracking. I already did, I said, and shut the door in their faces. She started banging again, screaming through the door. This is illegal. You can't evict me like this. I didn't answer, just stood there inside, hand on the knob, heart pounding, jaw locked. Jake finally pulled her back. She sobbed something I couldn't hear. He looked up at the ring cam one last time, shaking his head like I was the asshole, then led her down the steps. I watched them through the peephole until they got in his truck and drove off. Boxes still untouched. Next morning, I woke up to chaos. 3 missed calls, 2 texts from mutual friends, and 1 screenshot that made my blood pressure spike. It was a Facebook post from Madison. Big block of dramatic text. A black and white selfie of her fake crying in the corner. And the caption. I was financially abused and abandoned just days before my wedding. I have nothing but my dignity. Please be kind. She made herself sound like a battered wife in a Lifetime movie. The comments were a war zone. Half her people were throwing sympathy all over the place. She's so strong. Men are trash. Come stay with us, girl. The other half, they were poking holes. Didn't she say she was flying out to meet someone? Wait, weren't they not even engaged? Why's the house in his name then? Someone even asked where the wedding was supposed to be. No date, no venue, no photos, nothing. And the best part, she left the post public. She wanted the attention. I didn't say a word online. I didn't even like the comments defending me. Just watched the whole thing burn. An hour later, my phone rang. It was her dad. We'd always been cool. Straightforward guy. He liked how I worked full-time and didn't bullshit. We used to fish together every few months. I hadn't heard from him since Christmas. Hey, he said, voice low. Got a minute? Sure, I said, already knowing what was coming. I don't want to cause any problems, he said. But Madison's been here a few days and she's saying some heavy things. I sat up. Like what? She said you cheated, that she had to get away, that you left her broke and suicidal. I rubbed my face and opened my text thread with her. I'm gonna forward you something, I said. 1 second. I sent him the original message, the one she sent me the morning she left. The I'm flying to meet my soulmate one. Time stamped. No confusion. He didn't talk for a full minute. Then he sighed. God damn it, he muttered. She lied to all of us. She used my emergency card to buy the flight, I said. Then called me abusive when I canceled it. She didn't tell us any of that. Said you were violent. Said you locked her out as revenge. She brought her brother over last night. Screamed through my ring cam. Jake looked ready to throw hands. He cursed again. She's been freeloading here too. Barely comes out of the guest room, hasn't even applied for work. My wife's about to lose it. I leaned back in my chair. I hate that y'all are going through this now, but I'm not sorry for kicking her out. She thought she could bounce between houses and keep using everyone. He sighed again. No, I get it now. She needs to grow the hell up. I just didn't think I'd see this side of her. She called it boundaries. I called it survival. He chuckled dry and low. Yeah, well, thanks for being honest. I'm sorry, man. We hung up. 15 minutes later, I checked her post again. Still up. Still public. But now the comments were slowing down. People were starting to see through it. And I didn't have to say a word. A couple days after her post started dying down, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. No name, just a short message. Hey man, it's Dylan. I think we should talk, man to man. I stared at it for a second, almost laughed out loud. The Dylan, the online soulmate. I'd only seen his name on her flight confirmation and in her old messages. Now the guy himself wanted a heart-to-heart. I texted back. About what exactly? He replied fast. Look, I didn't know she was engaged or living with someone. She told me you were separated and you were stalking her. I couldn't help it. I laughed. Sitting there in my kitchen, coffee half finished, phone buzzing like this was some soap opera. You got a second? I wrote. Because I can clear this up real quick. He sent a thumbs up emoji. So I dropped the first screenshot, the one where she told me she was flying to San Diego to meet her soulmate. Then the $370 flight charge from my bank app. Then the messages from the airport, where she said I was abusive for cutting her off. I waited. A few minutes later, he replied, Holy crap, I had no idea. She told me you cheated and she had nowhere to go. She said you begged her to come back. I sent another screenshot, her begging me to come back after he couldn't help. Then another. Then one more just to drive it home. Finally, he wrote, Dude, we were just friends. I never said I loved her. She came on strong, but I tried to keep it friendly. I've got a girlfriend. There it was. the truth peeling open like wet cardboard. Guess she left that part out too, I texted. Yeah, he wrote. My girlfriend just found your screenshots. She's pissed. Madison told her I was single. Well, I said, welcome to the club. No reply for a while after that. Just those 3 little dots that kept blinking, like he didn't know what to say next. Then finally, she's been lying to both of us. I'm blocking her. I'm sorry for the mess. I put my phone down and actually laughed for real this time. Loud. The kind of laugh that feels more like relief than humor. An hour later, my phone rang again. Jake's number. I almost didn't answer, but something told me it wasn't him. Sure enough, her voice. You think you're so funny, don't you? She snapped, half crying, half screaming. You just couldn't leave it alone. Hey, Madison, I said flatly. How's your soulmate? Don't you dare talk about him, she shrieked. You ruined everything. His girlfriend saw your messages. He blocked me. You humiliated me. You humiliated yourself, I said. All I did was show the truth. You had no right. I had every right. You used my money to chase some fantasy. Then you lied to everyone about it. Now the truth's out, and suddenly I'm the villain. She started crying harder. You've destroyed my life. You'll pay for this. Madison, I said quietly. You did this all by yourself. Then I hung up. The phone buzzed again instantly. More calls, more missed notifications, but I didn't answer. I just stood there in the kitchen, watching the screen light up over and over like a warning sign. By the 5th call, I turned the phone face down and walked away. That night, I woke up to the Ring app buzzing on my phone. 3:07 a.m., motion detected. I sat up in bed and checked the live feed. There she was, Madison, on my porch, hunched in her hoodie, hair pulled back like she was trying not to be seen. She pulled something from her sleeve, tried the front door. It was her old key. I watched her jam it in, twist it, jiggle the handle. Didn't work. I changed the locks, remember? She tried again, harder, then stopped and just stood there, staring at the door. After a minute, she reached into her pocket, pulled out a folded piece of paper, and slid it under the mat. Then she walked off into the dark like she hadn't just been caught red-handed. I didn't even get up, just turned over and went back to sleep. Next morning, I found the note. Dylan meant nothing. I was confused. Can we talk? Please. No apology. No ownership. Just more damage control. I tossed it in the trash and left for work. By lunch, my phone rang again. This time from the front office. Hey, my supervisor said. HR wants to speak with you. Can you head up after your break? I didn't like the sound of that. I walked into the HR office, and one of the reps gave me this stiff, concerned look. We received an anonymous report that you were bragging about making a woman homeless, that you were laughing about it on the warehouse floor. I blinked. What? Did you make any comments like that? No, I said, but I think I know who sent that in. They stared at me, waiting. So I pulled out my phone, showed them the text she sent about flying to see another man, the screenshots with Dylan, and finally the Ring footage from 3 a.m. where she tried to break in. They watched in silence. My manager, who'd been sitting in the back of the room, finally spoke. She's the one who ran off and tried to come back? Man, what a mess. HR gave me the usual. We'll document this, but you're fine routine. Case closed. That night, I got another screenshot from a buddy. Madison had started a GoFundMe. Help me escape my abuser. I have nowhere to go and no one to turn to. Every dollar helps. She attached a glam photo and made the goal $5,000. The caption made it sound like she'd escaped some violent situation, and now she was healing in silence. She was healing so quietly, she posted it to 6 platforms. I didn't comment, didn't share, didn't even care at that point. But my buddy Mason, he didn't hold back. He dropped a comment right under it. Didn't you cheat on him and steal his card? It stayed up for about 20 minutes before she deleted the whole thing. That would have been the end of it, but she made another account. Then another. Then another. By midnight, she'd followed 3 of my friends, messaged one of my cousins, and even sent a DM to my ex from college asking if I'd always been controlling. Like she was building a damn case. One of my coworkers messaged me, "Yo, why is some random account asking about your emotional history?" I told him to block it. Told all of them the same. She was spiraling. Bad. But even while watching it happen, I didn't feel bad for her. Not anymore. She wasn't falling. She was just mad she'd finally hit the ground and no one was there to catch her. 3 days after the GoFundMe stunt, I got a text from Mason again. "Bro, you hear what happened with her brother?" I hadn't. Didn't want to. But curiosity got the better of me. Turns out Madison borrowed his wife's debit card without asking. Tried to use it for some online shopping spree, makeup, crystals, something stupid from Etsy. His wife caught the charge, shut it down and flipped. Jake found out and lost it. Kicked her out. On the spot. Not even a fight. Just packed her crap in garbage bags and dumped it by the curb. She didn't post about that one. I heard from another friend that she crawled back to her parents after that. The same parents who were already over her nonsense. She'd been hopping between couches and cars, acting like the world owed her something. She lasted 3 days there before her dad gave her the talk. Job or out. No options. No delay. Clock was ticking. And instead of applying to literally anything, she picked the oldest move in the book, blame the ex. That's when the text started again. First it was sweet, almost desperate. "I miss you. No one ever loved me like you did. Remember our beach trip? You looked so happy." I didn't respond. Not once. Next came the guilt. "You just threw away everything we built. You promised to protect me. You let me rot while you thrived. That's cruel." Still nothing. So then threats. "You owe me. I gave you my best years. You used me to decorate your house. You made me dependent and then abandoned me." I just stared at the screen. Each message louder than the last, like she thought volume would change the truth. She didn't give me anything I didn't already work for. She moved into a finished home, full pantry, working heat. All she added was clutter, drama, and Amazon boxes. Then her aunt messaged me. Said she wanted to hear both sides. Then her cousin. Same script. I blocked them without replying. That wasn't a conversation, it was a fishing expedition. A day later, someone else slid into my inbox. Dylan's girlfriend. I saw her name and braced for a lecture. But instead, it was this short message. "Just wanted to say thank you. She told everyone you abused her. We all believed her. I didn't know the truth until you sent those screenshots. I appreciate it. That hit different." She even told me Madison got kicked from their online guild. Some MMO they all played together. Apparently, she started drama there too. Told players their boyfriends were flirting with her, got in fights in the Discord, tried to get other girls banned. Someone posted the whole meltdown thread. I read it. It was chaos. One mod wrote, "We don't care who your soulmate is. Stop lying and move on." Even in a damn video game, she couldn't stop blowing things up. And I realized it wasn't about me, or Dylan, or her family. It was her. This tornado followed her wherever she went. She didn't want peace. She wanted a target. And once everyone stopped playing along, she started flailing, screaming into the void and hoping someone would still listen. But the walls were closing in now. Her old tricks weren't landing. People were finally comparing stories, seeing the patterns. And I was done playing defense. I didn't post a single thing. Didn't make a statement. Didn't even vent. I just kept ignoring her. That was the one thing she couldn't handle. Couple days after the whole guild drama, someone tagged me in a photo on Instagram. There she was, Madison, wearing a neon pink visor and blending smoothies behind the counter at this new health place downtown. Name tag, apron, the whole thing. The caption said, "Day 1. Gotta start somewhere, flexed biceps." I didn't react. Just kept scrolling. She lasted 4 days. By the end of the week, I got a call from a friend who works near there. "She got fired," he said, laughing. Manager said she kept giving away free drinks to her friends and flirting with customers like she owned the place. Sounded about right. Later that night, my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered out of habit. It was her mom. "Hey." she said, clearly stressed. I wouldn't call if I wasn't at my breaking point. I didn't say anything. She's impossible, she went on. She lies. She sleeps all day. She picks fights with everyone in the house. She got fired and blamed her boss. Why are you telling me this? Because I don't know what else to do. You were with her the longest. You know her. I took a breath. Then you should know she doesn't change until she runs out of people to use. She was quiet for a second. We're giving her 30 days. Either she finds a job and starts contributing, or she's out. I nodded, even though she couldn't see me. Good. She needs to grow up. She's calling it abuse, her mom added. Says we're just like you. I chuckled. You mean we both stopped letting her walk all over us? We hung up not long after. I figured Madison would spin out, but I didn't expect what came next. The following Monday, I was at work, halfway through my shift, when one of the front desk guys waved me down. Hey, someone's here to see you. Says she's dropping off your stuff. My stomach dropped. What does she look like? Blonde. Kinda pissed. Of course. I followed him toward the lobby, and there she was, holding a cardboard box like she was in some kind of movie. Stared at me like I owed her something. Security was already standing close. Sir, do you want to speak with her? The guard asked. I didn't even hesitate. Nope. Tell her to leave it and go. Madison didn't move. I just wanted to return your things, she said, voice all soft. Like we were in a relationship drama and not real life. Anything in that box, I already forgot about, I said. Go home. I don't have a home, she said, still holding the box like it meant something. That's not my fault. Security stepped in. Ma'am, we're gonna have to ask you to leave. She didn't fight, just dropped the box on the floor like it was her final move, then walked out into the parking lot. I watched through the front window. She didn't get in a car, didn't call anyone. She just stood there, then sat on the curb and waited. She stayed out there 3 hours, didn't move, just kept checking her phone, texting, refreshing, like I was suddenly going to give in and run out to talk. I didn't reply, not to the messages, not to the missed calls, not to the apology voice memo she sent like it could undo 6 months of hell. She wanted a final scene. Some moment she could twist into another "he abandoned me" speech. But I wasn't giving her that. I stayed at my desk, finished my shift, and walked right past her on my way to my car. Didn't even look at her. 2 weeks later, I was grabbing lunch at this sandwich shop by my job. Line was long, AC blasting, and I was halfway through scrolling my phone when I heard someone say my name. I looked up. It was Dylan. At first, I wasn't sure. He had a beard now and looked like he'd finally slept. But when he waved, I knew. Man, he said, walking up. I wasn't sure if it was you. We shook hands. I motioned to the table across from me. He sat down. You live around here now? I asked. Yeah, he said. Moved here last month. My girlfriend got a job at the hospital downtown. I raised an eyebrow. Didn't know you were still with her. He laughed. Almost wasn't. Took a while to earn her trust back after Madison tried blowing everything up. I leaned back. So she wasn't done with you after all that? Hell no, he said. She stalked our game server, made burner accounts, kept spreading crap about me, told people their boyfriends were secretly messaging her. Tried getting my girlfriend kicked from the guild. Let me guess. She got banned instead. Oh yeah, fast. Admins weren't having it. He shook his head, took a sip of his drink, and said it plain. I've never met someone so delusional. We sat in silence for a second. Then he looked up and said, I think she's working again. Someone told me she's at that health food place downtown, near 6th and Jefferson. I knew the spot. Small, overpriced, and always smelled like kale and attitude. Curiosity kicked in. That weekend, I texted my buddy Chris. Wanna grab lunch downtown? He was down. So we rolled through just before the lunch rush. Walked in, and there she was, Madison, standing behind the counter with her back to us. I didn't say a word, just acted normal. We grabbed a table. A few minutes later, she turned around, menus in hand, and saw me. Her whole face dropped. She tried to play it off, walking toward us like it was just another shift, but I could see it. The tension in her shoulders, the fake calm in her voice. "Welcome in," she said flatly. "Can I get you anything started?" I smiled, looked at Chris, then looked back at her. "Yeah," I said loud enough for the next table to hear. "I think I'll bring my girlfriend here next week. She loves this healthy crap." Madison froze, just for a second. Her fingers twitched, then tightened around the menus. She didn't say anything, just turned and stormed back toward the kitchen, dropped the menus hard on the counter, and disappeared behind the swing door. Chris raised an eyebrow. "That her?" "Yup." 10 minutes later, another girl came out to take our order. I didn't even look toward the back again. We ate, paid, and left like it was any other lunch. That night, around 9 o'clock, my phone lit up. "I can't believe you came to my job. You just had to humiliate me. You're a monster." I stared at it for a second, thought about all the chaos, all the games, all the times I didn't react. Then I locked my screen and tossed the phone on the couch. Didn't reply. I wasn't her audience anymore. 3 months later, I barely thought about her. I'd picked up a promotion at work, supervisor now. The raise was solid. My bank account looked better than it had in years. My house was cleaner, quieter, peaceful. And yeah, I'd started seeing someone. Her name's Jenna. Normal girl. Real job, real hobbies. No lies, no drama. She texts back when she says she will. Shows up when she says she will. We go out for wings on Fridays and argue about music like teenagers. She's not perfect, but she's real. And that alone felt like a blessing. Then out of nowhere, Madison popped up again. Texted me at midnight like she forgot I wasn't still on her hook. Already replaced me? That was it. No hello. No small talk. Just bitterness dressed as a question. I stared at it for a second. Thought about ignoring it. Then I typed, "You replaced yourself." A minute later, the flood started. Paragraph after paragraph. Rants, insults, guilt trips. Same cycle as always. I didn't read half of it. I hit block and tossed my phone on the nightstand. Next morning, I got a message from her sister. "She's blaming you for everything. Says you manipulated her. Says she gave you the best years of her life." I didn't reply. Then she added, "By the way, her new guy? Married. Canadian. 45. She says it's different this time." Of course it is. Madison still posts online about being financially abused. Still plays the victim for sympathy likes. Still paints herself as the one who got left behind. But people aren't buying it anymore. A week ago, under one of her rants, her own mom commented, "Try working 40 hours a week." No one came to her defense after that. Life's funny like that. She thought she was trading up, thought she had options, leverage, backup plans. But the truth was she played herself. Burned every bridge, then cried about the smoke. I didn't ruin her life. I just stopped funding the fantasy.